Hi everyone, Preston York here. Today I am having Vietnamese noodles or pho. I'm not quite, I think it's pho, but people say pho as well. So anyway, I just got this from my neighborhood spot. I also got some duck spring rolls that come with this really delicious peanut dipping sauce, which I love. And it's a little chilly outside, so this is perfect. And I feel like they give me extra toppings, which is great for me. So I'm going to tell you about this crazy story that's happened to my friends just recently. So I live in New York. And I have some friends who live in Manhattan, 3 of them in an apartment in downtown Manhattan. And they live in a 5th floor walk up. This story is crazy. They live in a 5th floor walk up. Yeah, so bear with me. And my friend, she's home one day. It's like the middle of the afternoon. She's home alone, and she can hear this weird noise. This is delicious. She can hear this weird noise. It kind of sounds like an animal or a woman shouting or screaming or saying something, but she can't really decipher what it is or where it's coming from. And in New York there's always some crazy noise happening, my neighbors are running around right now. So this noise continued to the point where she's like, okay, maybe I should go and investigate. So she comes out of her room and it kind of sounds like it's coming from inside the apartment. She's like, that's weird. So she's walking around and obviously no one's there, she's home alone. And then it sounds like it's coming from the kitchen. So she goes into the kitchen, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with New York, but in a lot of the older buildings there's these void shaft airway things that windows look out onto basically a brick wall, and it goes the entire length of the building, and their kitchen window goes out to one of those, so you can't open the window, you can kind of hear through it but not well, and it's like a tiny little bit of light coming from the top. So she realizes the noise is coming through the kitchen window from somewhere, maybe inside the building. So, my friend still can't really hear what it is. So she thinks maybe if she goes out into the hallway of the building, she'll be able to hear where it's coming from. So she goes out into the building, this is really good, they're on the top floor, so she walks all the way down to the bottom of the building. She can't hear anything. So she knocks on her neighbor's door, and it's this old Romanian couple that live on the 1st floor. And she knows them. So she knocks on the door, and they have a house guest staying with them, who my friend had met before. He's been staying with them for a couple of months, I guess. And he answers, and my friend asks if, let's call her, I don't want to use their real names, let's call her Maureen. Is Maureen there? And he's like, oh no, Maureen and her husband are out. Is everything okay? And my friend, let's call her Amanda. Amanda's like, oh yeah, I just heard this weird noise upstairs. I was wondering if you'd heard anything, or if Maureen had heard anything. And I was like, no. So she was like, okay, cool, no worries. So she goes back upstairs into her apartment, and she can still hear it again. She kind of tries to ignore it some more, but she can't ignore it anymore because it's just constant. So she's like, maybe if I go up to the roof, I can hear it coming out of like the shaft void thing. So she goes up to the roof and like kind of looks down into the shaft, but she can't see anything, and she can hear now it more clearly that it's a woman's voice. And she's like, hello? And this voice comes back to her. She's like, Amanda, is that you? And my friend is like, yeah. What? This voice said, it's Maureen. I'm being held hostage in my apartment. I've been held hostage for 3 days. Call the police. So obviously my friend is like, what the fuck? So she goes down to her apartment and locks the door and calls the police. Because she'd just been down there talking to that guy. She'd just been at their apartment. Oh, I shouldn't forget this. So she calls the police. The police come and like their riot gear and all this stuff. They break down the door. They arrest the guy who's been keeping them hostage, which is crazy. And then they find Maureen's husband in a really bad way. He's got a head injury. He's like beaten up. He's covered in blood that's like old and new. So it's like an old wound that they think has been like reopened. So then this building, by the way, is a fucking like disaster zone. It's really old. It's like probably should be condemned. It hasn't been, renovated or updated. It's like downtown in the Lower East Side-ish, Chinatown. So it's almost like a health hazard. And this Romanian couple, Maureen and her husband, have been living there for over 40 years. So anyway, the police go in, they come out, they arrest the guy, they find Maureen's husband, and then Annie comes down and she's like, I'm the person who called the police. How is everyone? Is everything okay? What's going on? And the police are like, yeah, we arrested him and we found this gentleman, he's in a bad way. And Annie's like, what about Maureen? And the police are like, who's Maureen? And my friend was like, Maureen's his wife. She's the one I heard shouting. That's the whole reason I called you. And they're like, there's no one else in this apartment. And my friend was like, well, there is, because that's how I know about this situation. So they're like, where did you hear her? And she was like, well, I heard her from the roof. So Annie takes, my friend Amanda takes the police to the roof. So hungry. Sorry, I'm like eating and chatting away like I'm on speed. So Amanda goes up to the roof with the police. She gets there. It's like, Maureen, are you there? Maureen's like, Amanda, call the police, I'm being held hostage. And my friend is like, I called the police are here, where are you? She's like, I don't know. And they ask her, how can you not know where you are? And she says that she crawled through a hole in the bathroom wall. That's how fucked up this building is. Crawled through a hole in the bathroom wall and I got stuck, and I've been here for a while now. It's like, I don't know where I am. I'm in some kind of void space, like in the basement or somewhere in the wall. So the police then go back downstairs and try and find her, and they have to knock down a wall and like demolish it to find her, and she's trapped, and she's been there for a day or two. Also not in a great way, but better than her husband. And this guy apparently is like an old friend from the neighborhood. So we don't know what happened with the situation between us, but he attacked them apparently and beat up the husband and locked them inside the bathroom and nailed the door shut, I think, is the story so far. So now my friend is like the lead witness in this hostage, and yesterday the husband died from his injuries, which is so sad because now Maureen is all alone. She doesn't have any family. So now it's like a homicide case, which is crazy. So yeah, that is what was going on. So my friends were telling me all this, and I just could not believe it. Like, I mean, she saved Maureen's life. I guess she thought she saved the husband as well. It's really, really sad. I wonder what went down. When you hear people screaming and shouting and carrying on in New York all the time, and you just pay no mind to it because it's such a common occurrence, that thank God my friend did pay attention, because she saved her life. But God, what a terrible, terrible ordeal. And you also just never know what's going on with your neighbours in the building. I mean, I live in a relatively big building, and who knows what's going on? So, my friend was like at the DA's office. Having to give statements about what had happened. So I'll keep you posted if you're interested. I mean, it's a crazy story. Imagine being held hostage in your own apartment. In your own home. And then my friend, she spoke to him. He could have easily said, yeah, Maureen's inside, come in, and then attacked my friend as well. God. Terrifying. I'm struggling to eat these noodles with chopsticks. It is so good. Sorry, I'm rushing this. I have to go out soon. I started a different channel on YouTube, an ASMR channel where I don't talk. So if you don't want to listen to me ramble on about stupid shit, you can watch that one. And there's no talking. It's just me eating. It says Preston York ASMR. You should be able to find it. So please subscribe to that. That would be lovely. Just like these pho noodles. If you haven't had pho or Vietnamese food before, it's amazing. It's my favorite. So definitely do that. Okay, thanks everyone. Please subscribe, please follow, please like. Is that all the terms? I think so. Thanks again. Bye.